Hey, happy people, this is Tanya Hall of Chocolate Mama, and today I am so excited because we are going to be talking about for solopreneurs. Today we're going to be talking about how to improve your personal brand. And your personal brand is super vital to attracting the people that you want to attract and building a rapport with them and nurturing them. If you don't have a clear brand for yourself set up and really, then that may be why you're having some of the difficulties with getting followers and people to join you and all of the above. So today, let's dig right in and let's clear that up. All right, let's go. Welcome back. So today, again, I want to talk about just the things that you should be focusing on when you're trying to build a brand. And so for me, I'm just going to be sharing today from just my personal experience and the things that I focus on. And I really and truly just spend my time focusing on five things and five things alone. And I think that's more than enough to really focus on when I'm building a brand. So let's just dig right in and get started with them, and let's just talk about it and walk ourselves through it. So the first thing I focus on is I do a lot of research to find out my touch points. And yeah, touch points, it sounds like a little sexual there, but that's okay. But the touch points is really and truly is how people are coming into contact with you. Wow, how are they finding you? And so you need to know all of the places in which people are coming in contact with you so that you can direct that traffic to where you want the traffic to go. So a lot of times is we have all these accounts. We have Facebook accounts and LinkedIn accounts and Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts. And so you got all of these places. It's all over social media, all over the internet even. You got things on Google, and you got your Google Plus account, and you got all these different accounts. And you don't really know where people are going to find you. Different people have different favorite social media things. And so you need to make sure that they're all are cleaned up and that they're all pointing to one main platform. Now, for me, I have this mindset of one of everything. I have one flagship product that I promote. I have one platform, social media platform that I use. I have one set of daily action plan I do, and I have really one closing non-script script that I use. Okay, it's all been a part of just how I've built and grown business because I concentrate on just one thing. Because when you start to concentrate on too many things, it gets too watered down. Okay, so because I have one main platform and I use my blog as my main platform, okay, that means everything should be floating back. So I post something on Facebook, it flows back to my blog. I post something on Instagram, it comes back to my blog. So, but first, you need to be able to go through and find where the touch points are channeling people back to. Okay, so if you have like a LinkedIn page and you haven't visited that LinkedIn page in, a year or plus or whatever, and it's just there, then you need to do one or two things. You need to go in and clean it up to make it point back to where it needs to go to your main platform. Unless your main platform is LinkedIn, then it's there, okay? But you need to make sure things point back to the main source, the main offer. Everything needs to be pointing back to that main offer. So wherever it is, if you got a funnel, it needs, or everything can point to a funnel if you want to. So all your social media is making an offer, and it's all pointing and going back to a funnel where they can read more about that offer. It can all be pointed back to YouTube, right? Or you can make a bunch of YouTube videos. This is what I do. And my YouTube videos all point back to, I want my traffic to go to the blog. So that's pretty much what a touch point is just finding out. So how do you do that? So you need to go to Google and do a search of yourself. Okay, I actually have a full course, a free training, and I will attach that to this, that basically shows you how to do that, how to go in, do a Google search. So basically, you're just going to be searching for yourself. And then you're going to go and look up everything that it says about you. So just type in your name or your brand name or your company's name, whatever you are branding yourself as, and then make sure that where everything is going back to. So it's just that simple. And then make a list. Make a list of those touch points and clean them up. Make sure they all are pointing back to the direction you want them to. Okay, number 2, what to focus on to form your personal brand, forming a brand voice. What is the voice? What am I saying out there? Okay, so there's so much happening in the land of internet and social media. I mean, it's just crazy out there, and there's well over 1 billion websites. So just like I focus on the 5 things that I need to do, I don't have a fancy marketing team. I don't have like a branding team. And most solopreneurs, we're doing it just that, solo. It's just us. We're doing it by ourselves. So you need to keep your focus compact. I keep my focus extremely compact and manageable for me to do in a day's time. So now, here's one caveat to it, is that your brand voice is dependent on your company mission or your audience and your industry that you're in. Okay, so sometimes those dictate what type of voice you're going to need to have in the online space. So I'll give you some examples of what I mean about what industry. Okay, so I put in here just kind of jokingly, but if I'm in the insurance, I'm selling insurance, or I'm selling funeral insurance or something like that, then if you can make it work, hallelujah. But I don't know if one of the concepts of the voice that you need to have out there is a funny voice or a casual voice. If I'm selling insurance, people don't normally want their insurance salesman to be a jokester. You know what I mean? Like, got all the jokes. They don't normally want that. Okay, so you got to kind of look at it. If I'm a lawyer, I'm a solopreneur, and I have a lawyer firm, a small firm, or something like that, and it's just me. I'm growing my business on my own. Then I don't know how jokester people would want their lawyer to be. So you got to make sure when you're choosing a voice that you want to represent in there, that it is appropriate for the style. Okay, so here we go. Let's go through them. So you could be more professional, more casual, fun or funny. You can be technical. You can have a technical voice, like if you're teaching technical things and that's your job or that's your career, then you might want to think about having a more techie voice out there. Friendly, you can have more servant oriented. Promotional, you can have more promotional voice where you're promoting things, or informative, like your whole voice out there is you want to inform people, you're giving them the information, you want to be very informative about a particular subject. You can be conversational, so that means you can maybe have like a podcast or something like that, where where you are interviewing people, and that's your voice that you have in the marketplace, that you're connecting and you're sharing. You can even have a combination of sharing informative information, but you're doing it more conversational. You can be more authoritative. You're an authority, so like a lawyer or something like that. If you're doing something like that, you have been doing something for a long time. Let's say you can fix cars, and you've been fixing cars for 10, 15, 20 years, something like that. You can be more authoritative in your voice on the internet because you have the credentials, which may not be a great place if you're just getting started with something. You can't come off being authoritative and you don't know what you're doing. Then maybe you need to have a more casual voice in what you're doing. confrontational, like you're booking the system, you're making sure that this, the system is right. So another great example of a very confrontational voice out there is Gary Vee. It's very confrontational. He just cuts right through it. So you have to find your own voice and what you feel comfortable with. Just find whatever you feel most comfortable with and just go for it. Just whatever you decide that needs to be your voice. Okay. Number 3, you got to make sure that your content matches your personal brand voice. A little bit embarrassed about how bad and a little inconsistent I have been in the past, but thank goodness I figured it out with making sure that my content matches my personal brand. So if I'm out there and I'm saying, I'm being very controversial, but my audience, it doesn't really match my audience. My audience doesn't really want a controversial kind of thing. I have to make sure that it matches. So my brand voice personally is a little casual, well, very casual, a little silly. Like I'm extremely long-winded, and so I realized in the process that I need to create a voice in the marketplace, and my content needs to match. Is that my content needs to be a little bit slower because my core audience needs a little bit more help. They need a little bit more hands-on, and that's my style, and that's okay. But for those who just like, I want the information, I want to go out there and do it, that's not necessarily my core target audience. So I had to learn how to make my content a little bit more detail oriented. I needed to give a lot more specifics in my details in my content when I was delivering it to people, because that's what my audience likes. They want a little bit more detail. They want things explained out to them. So that's why you need to make sure your core audience, know who your core audience really is, your voice really is, who your voice is for, and then make sure your content matches them. So if your audience is fast-paced and they want to hear, they want it now, then maybe you need to do short content and short, small bites size of things. So that helps to clean up your brand just a little bit. So your brand, you're known for having a little bit longer webinars, or maybe you need to be known for having short, quick, to the point trainings and videos and webinars. It's totally up to you. Okay. Yes. Number 4, you're going to make sure make sure list building is a part of your brand. Okay. So if you want to improve your personal brand, you need to make sure that list building is a part of that as well. So what do I mean by list building? When I first started, to be perfectly honest, I wasn't really great in this area either. And if I'm honest, I still have room. I still have lots of room to grow in this area, which is awesome. So actually, I made sure that just a few months back ago, that I took an extensive amount of time to really home in and learn how to build that area of my business a lot bigger. So you may be asking yourself right now, what exactly is list building? Okay, so let's get right to it. List building is the process of building groups of people who are interested in your products and services. So you need to start building a list of people who are interested in your products and service. Now, one thing I found that most people are not ready to buy right when you present it. They need to think about it. Even you, sometimes you go, let me think about it for a little bit, and then you may circle back around. So you need to have something set up as far as your personal brand, that people can get to know you and your personal brand, your values, what you're about. Maybe they need to hear it a few more times. So you need to have something set up to allow them to be able to get a dripping of emails or dripping of something that comes across. So you want to make sure that you are offering people, your customers, your potential customers, your clients, any of those things, something that they find valuable. So in exchange, um, it's called a value exchange is what I like to call it. So you're going to present them and you're going to give them something like an ebook or a video training or a free download, a PDF, or maybe a one-on-one coaching session or something like that, or a group coaching session even, in exchange for their email. So this way you can build a relationship, but you need to be adding people onto a list daily. You need to have something that you're presenting out there, that daily you're collecting emails of interested people who want to get more information. This is just a really great way to build a know, like, and trust factor with people, so that they can get to know you, they can like you, and they can trust you, so they'll buy from you. Okay. And then so finally, number 5, the 5th thing that I focused on is creating a consistent daily action plan. Okay. It's really, really important for this particular one that you have something daily that you're doing, like your voice. It's so important that your voice is out there daily. Now, some of you may be saying, oh, I can't do something every day. Then figure out when you can do something and do it often. So if you say, well, I can only be out here doing something, posting content twice a week. Okay, then great. Consistently post twice a week. But when it comes to your branding, remember, content is, if content is queen, then consistency is the queen. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are consistently posting things out there. Now, I also have, I have a system of which I have a daily action plan, and I actually have a calendar that I've created. It's 365-day calendar. It's already been pre-done for me, that I've pre-done, I should say, and it has the entire year. So I actually walk people through on how to do that for yourself. And if you would like to get your hands on this, then, please shoot me a message and said, I want to get my hands on that as well. But it's basically content, 365-day content already created for you, for anyone, no matter what industry you're in. It's done for you. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's all I have for you. So just those 5 things that will really drastically improve your brand. 1, research and find your touch points where people are coming in contact with you and redirect them to your offers. Number 2, focus on a strong brand voice. Figure out whether you want to be casual, professional, controversial, informative, or combination thereof. Okay. Number 3, make sure your content matches your personal brand. Make sure what you're putting out there is the same thing as your voice that you want to be known for. Number 5, make sure you're creating a list, building a list of people who are interested in your brand or your offers of what you have to say. And number 5, make sure you're creating a daily action plan, something you're doing every day to let people know you're in this space, you're in this world. Okay, guys, hope this has been helpful. Hopefully I'll hear from you soon. If you like this content, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'll be sharing tons of content like this for solopreneurs and side giggers to help you to build and grow your brand and your great content. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.